What's going on, world? It's your boy KUYA P. This is Nerds Rule the World, and I'm super excited to have another one of the amazing creators behind this beautiful anthology, Aces and AROS from Lifeline Comics. Shout out to my pal Jeremy Whitley who hooked this all up. I love Jeremy so much, and we have one of the amazing contributors in Cici Affini, who is penning the tale. Ace Brandon, an asexual super spy. How are you, Cici?
I'm doing great. Excited
Thank
to
you.
be here.
I'm super excited that you're here. This anthology, this beautiful anthology, talking about, so many important things within the asexual, a romantic community. How did you catch wind of this? Did my boy Jeremy bug you, or did some of the other? I'm forgetting the other names. I think Phil, and I'm forgetting the other names that are escaping me. How did you learn of this beautiful anthology?
Yeah, so I was familiar with Phil and Kat's work through Life9 Comics, and they had done some previous anthologies before. And so I had my eye on them when they launched this one. I was excited to see that they were working with Jeremy on it, and I knew immediately that it was going to be something I wanted to be part of.
I love it. Okay, so we get down. We have to put I don't know how you are with comics. I am just I like to write, and I just want to vomit at the mouth and keep going. So it's when I'm writing, I know to do like a 20. Generally, it's like 24 pages, right? Or however I'm writing to. You have to break everything down into like 5 to 7 pages. You're limited. How is that for you as a writer to challenge yourself and just kind of contain yourself with the room you're given? So how is that? Okay, you climbed on board this, and now I have a specific tale. And where did that tale come from?
Yeah, so thinking about the prompt, I wanted to address something from the asexual community, but I wanted to do it in like a really fun way. I didn't want it to be like, this is my asexual trauma. Like, I wanted it to be have like a humor element. And one thing that I found in my personal life is that I always struggled in these sort of like hot or not situations where I think like in middle school, kids would be like, this is my favorite Backstreet Boy. And I was like, I don't know what you guys are like talking about. And so that was the kind of element that I think felt most part of my experience on the ace spectrum. I identify as demisexual. And yeah, so I wanted to do something that got to that idea, but I wanted to do it in a fun way. So I'm actually interested in comics because my dad is a big DC fan, and he used to do like we'd watch Batman and Superman together. And another property that I would watch with him was the 007 franchise.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and so I thought, like, what if you take this international super spy type of guy and you make him totally asexual?
Love
And I
it.
thought that there'd be like a lot of comedic possibilities there. And so for this, he has like his gadget guy, and his gadget guy has given him hot vision goggles. So now he can finally see who's hot.
Was this your first time like go? Because I think you did Mythfall, which is like a whole on another. You have like a whole sci-fi side of you. Was this like your first time like kind of going into like a comedy realm with a script like this?
Yeah, I think so. I think I would say that there's like no humor in Mythfall, but it's not primarily. It's very like big and dramatic.
Yeah.
And so for this, I wanted it to be really light. It's my first thing that I identify as like humor first that I've written. Um, and the key to keeping it short, because my tendency is to write really, really long things, is yeah. I started in novels, and then in comics, you have so much less. You have to distill everything down so much more, and then you have only I think it's just 6 pages, I think is what we have. So I knew that it needed to be a single conflict. You were not going to get a lot of backstory or like loose threads, and to keep the character pool as limited as possible. And then just kind of think about like what is absolutely what you need to know for this to make sense, and try to limit it to that as much as possible. Yeah, so we try to get him into his headquarters efficiently so he can get his special item, and then kind of the conflict, keep it condensed, and try not to get bogged down in like details or world building too much.
Right? I feel you. I'm always fascinated by process as creatives, right? And how we get, from point A to point C and define B and then the beats, So from the novelist standpoint to then adapting to a shorter version into a comic script, right? Um so you brought it down to the 6 7 pages. What was it like with a how many drafts do you or do you have like pro tips for aspiring creators out there as well that are checking out this interview?
Yeah. So I'd say, in general, you got to do as many drafts as it takes, which can be very painful. But for this, I think we did something that I like to call a puke draft, which is you just kind of write out the concept as much as you can to get to the end. And it's
Yeah.
not pretty, and it doesn't always make a lot of sense, but you have your concept in mind. And then from there, you can be like, okay, I think this is about 1 page of action. And I think like this is maybe going to be 2 pages, or like I need 3 or 4 panels here. You kind of, once I understand the action, then I try to break it out into pages and panels. And then a thing that we've been doing at ADM is we've been trying to do a 1 sentence page summary. So for like, okay, we have that max 8 pages. What's 1 sentence summary of what's going to happen on this page? And then you kind of break it down that way. I find that my first draft that includes panels is very bare bones. I don't write like, okay, in order, like this is my panel one, and this is the panel one description, and this is the panel one dialogue. I tend to focus on what the conflict is in the uh, whether it's in the dialogue or it's in the action, and I write that out in the panel, and the rest of the panel is bare. And then my second draft, I go through and kind of fill in, like, okay, well, I have this character in the panel, but he's not saying anything, or I put a dialogue tag here and I didn't provide any kind of like visual guide for what this character's doing. Kind of go through it and clean that up. And once I go through like those passes, that's kind of the end of the first draft. And at that point, I look at it and it's like, okay, does it work? And then
Yeah.
sometimes I got to do a second draft, and the second draft could even mean throwing out the whole first draft and starting from scratch. But with this story, because it was short and because I had a really clear idea of what I wanted out of it, we didn't have to do a big rewrite. So I just wrote out. I was able to write out the first draft and then refine it until it was clear. And then yeah, so I didn't have a deep revision process on it, which was nice.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I'm a process guy. I love stuff like that. Do you like do dialogue later? Like breaking down the story I beats, right? And then or do you already have like a vision for the dialogue or do you cement it afterwards?
I think a lot of times I actually start with dialogue.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
I understand like or sometimes the narration, either one of those, trying to understand like
Hmm.
what does the
Gotcha.
character like
Yeah.
need to express in this scene, and then I'm like, okay, what are they doing while that's happening? It feels kind of backwards, but it's what I even when I was writing prose, I would often write the dialogue first and then the beats around it.
Okay. I'm always very curious about that because sometimes I don't behold myself, to it. And I like, okay, maybe I can change it this as long as the intention's there and I can see it. I'm sorry, I'm a process guy. I love it. So the artists you collaborate with on this, can you talk about your artists and bringing this story to life?
Yeah, Mauricio Mora is the artist on I believe the title is The Haunting, and it is Phil's title. A Haunting.
With Attic Door Media,
No, this is
Mhm.
of Lifeline Comics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel bad if I messed up the title, but it
No
is
worries.
a kind of young adult ghost story that Phil wrote, and Mauricio was the artist on that. I got matched up with Mauricio as part of the submission process. So I submitted solo, and the team matched me up with
Oh,
Mauricio. And that was really cool experience to get to meet and work with him. One thing that I left open in the story is that I said I wanted the reader to feel some of the same experience as Ace. So I was like, whatever you choose to do, you shouldn't be able to tell whether or not the characters are hot. And
yeah.
so I said, maybe you want to have their like faces in shadow, or maybe you want to like make them all look like Where's Waldo or something. And so I left that up to Mauricio, and I think he executed it really great. He gave them sort of like dot eyes, and I think that it comes across really well. And I was really excited to see how he brought that concept to life.
I dig that. I love that, especially when you're working with somebody you haven't worked with it before. That's
Yeah.
always half the fear, but also just some of the amazing fun when doing this, that we love. What does it mean to be a part of Aces and AROS for you? How does this anthology, speak to you as a creative?
I would say so asexuality is an element of Mythfall. It might have had something to do with why I felt compelled to write in the first place. I found out I was fairly late in life. I was already in a relationship. I was already like fairly settled down and past my like finding myself years when I stumbled across a label that felt like it fit my experience. But before that, I had spent a long time understanding that I was really getting a very different experience than other people in life. As like, I don't know what it is about me, but other people are clearly having a very different time than I am for whatever reason. And I think part of that element, I'm neurodivergent as well. So between those two things together, I was like, I just want to kind of express like maybe somebody else out there is having a similar experience, to try to express like my own experience and see if that, resonates, to try to get it out into the world. And there are a couple of ace characters in Mythfall. And so it's definitely part of something that I wanted to write about. So having the opportunity to write about it directly is really cool, because I'd say it's more of an indirect element in Mythfall, where the main plot is a epic sci-fi a spanning sci-fi epic, but then like on the sidelines, like while people are doing that, they happen to be asexual. And so for this, it was putting that theme kind of front and center. And it was fun to think about how I would want to address that as a main theme in the story that would be really engaging and fun and light.
I love that. I love that for you, and building community and helping. That's just everything that I'm all about with this channel and with what I do with my work. So I love when I see my other fellow creatives like yourself doing that, and just how important that is going to be for someone out there. And for yourself included, right? To
Yeah.
just have this. So that's just outstanding. You brought up Mythfall to close us out. We're going to support and we're going to make this campaign happen. Again, let me remind everybody, Kickstarter link in the description below. Let's support this beautiful anthology, but also let's talk Mythfall in all your handles so my people can support you with what you have coming up.
Yeah, so we self-publish in the indie space, me and my three collaborators, and together we are Attic Door Media on most socials. And if you want to find me directly, I am at Caffini Comics on Instagram. I want to say Substack, and occasionally on Blue Sky.
Awesome. All the links will be in the description for CC, y'all, so you can click there as well. So Mythfall is an ongoing, and do we want to, throw some more light on that, or anything else outside of that you have coming up?
Yeah. So Mythfall, we're going to be publishing issue 1.5 and issue 2. Issue 1.5 is like a backstory with like a lot of supernatural elements. And then issue 2 is going to follow the kind of like sci-fi part of the plot forward. 1.5 we're planning on later this year. And then my co-creators have put out their superhero slice of life title called Incident Report, which is the story of a social worker for kids with superpowers. We have a Kickstarter for that active right now. And later on this summer, we are going to do a fantasy sapphic romance called Bound by Words, about a librarian and a mage who fall in love because of letters they sent to each other delivered by a griffin courier.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. As those come along, please come back when they get ready to launch, so I could, throw some more virtual flowers at you and get people to support. That would be awesome if you could come back. So yes,
I would love that.
yeah. Thank you. So we'll be in touch, everybody. Cici will be back so we can support, do all the things. But right now, let's show love to Aces and AROS. We need more of this.
Please do.
And people need to see this amazing story. Cici, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Again, best of luck, and let's come back and talk again. That is the amazing Cici Affini, y'all. I'm KUYA P. Nerds rule the world. Go support Aces and AROS right now. We're done with the interview. Links in the description. Click there. Go there right now. Bye, y'all. All right, there's a cut, Cici. Thank you.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Yeah. Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes,
you know
sir.
Thank
you. Awesome. KUYA P, nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
Nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like Nerds Rule the World. Like, I want more Black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, nerds rule. Love it.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes,
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
Absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Nerds so much.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy KUYA P, nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
do. They rule the world, all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys. There it is. All right, I'm gonna do a 3, 2, 1, and we'll get right into it. Let's have some fun. In a 1, 2, 3.